What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Joshua from Rare's Reviews, and welcome back to another edition of the monthly pitch series, where once a month, every month, I deliver you a video where I pitch a TV show or film of some pop culture universe or some sort of shared universe that exists, and I give you my idea of what I would do with that project. I've done multiple videos of these so far, getting close to a year now of doing this. If you have been enjoying this series, make sure you chuck a like on this video and also subscribe so you will not miss any one of my pitches. I have a whole playlist made up of them, so go to the channel and make sure you go check out some of my past pitches that I've done these last few months. And without further ado, let's get into this month's pitch. If you read by the title, I will be giving my pitch for a Disney film. Now, before I get into the actual pitch, I want to provide some context. So, if you guys don't know, last year, 2023, was Disney's 100-year anniversary. They made a big deal about it. Again, 100 years, that's a big thing. Disney has made so many iconic films, so many iconic characters, and these past few years have been kind of rough for Disney and the film industry, mainly as a part of it due to the pandemic, but overall, they've not been having that good of a winning streak. And for the 100-year anniversary, I think we as a fandom really hoped that they would make something that would honor the 100 years. And then they came out with Wish. Now, I didn't see Wish when it came out in theaters. I saw it a few weeks ago. My aunt convinced me to watch it, and I thought it was okay. I did not think it was a proper way to honor 100 years of Disney. I definitely did not think it was that, but I think it was an okay film. It should not have been made to be the 100-year anniversary movie. It should not have been made for that, because it really did not have that much significance to a film to honor 100 years of Disney. Yes, it had its references and stuff to past Disney projects, like with Asha's friends being like the human version, like the regular versions of the Seven Dwarves. But aside from that, there really wasn't much to work with. So I was thinking, okay, what could have been a proper way to, make a proper film to celebrate 100 years of Disney? And then I remembered that on the 100-year anniversary, the day of the anniversary, Disney put out on Disney Plus the Once Upon a Studio short film, where we see every single Disney character come together to do the cast photo. Now after I watched Wish, I rewatched it like a few days later, and I was like, this is what it should have been. This is what the 100-year film should have been. Trying to get as many of the original voice actors as you can, and come up with a story that fits the story well, that honors these characters without it feeling like, oh, it's just a cameo fest. So I kind of started thinking about it, and I was like, okay, this will be my pitch. I really had no idea what I was going to do for this month, so I actually am very grateful I saw Wish, and then we watched Once Upon a Studio, so I can come up with this pitch for for this month's pitch for the series. So without further ado, let's get into the pitch itself. First off, this film, because it's a Disney film, it will be honoring 100 years of Disney, and this film will be called Once Upon a Disney. It's basically Once Upon a Studio, but except without Once Upon a Studio, it's Once Upon a Disney. And the genre will, of course, be a musical. This will be the biggest musical that Disney has ever made in its life. It will have 10 songs. A few of them will be solos. The only song that I really enjoyed from Wish was This Wish, and I feel like that song should be brought into this movie. So I will be bringing that song back. But there will be 10 songs. 6 of them will be solo. 4 of them will be group songs. 6 of them will be group songs. And just the overall impact of this film is to feel like a kid when you first saw your first Disney film, or see these iconic characters together for the first time. So now let's get into the plot. Now, the plot, I don't have too much around it, but it follows Asha. She's still the character that's going to be introduced. Asha is basically living in Rosas. She lives in this different version of Rosas where it's like very magical. It's very attuned to the Disney-fied world that Disney has made for itself. It very much knows what Disney is. The leader is King Magnifico. Again, we can bring back Chris Pine if we choose to, and he can voice Magnifico again. Magnifico is the villain of this movie, and his whole objective in this movie is to collect everyone in the Disneyverse. That's what I'm calling it, because I don't know. I didn't know. I thought it would be a good way. And Asha is trying to stop him. Now, before you rage out in the comments saying, "Oh, another multiverse story, another multiverse story. Why does this exist?" and all that crap, I thought that this would be the easiest way in my mind. In my mind, this was the easiest way for it to make sense as to how Rosas is so attuned to the Disney world, and because they know all these stories. They've seen the different universes of characters, and Magnifico is going into different universes to basically collect all the iconic Disney characters that he sees fit for his collection, so to speak. Imagine him as kind of like the Disney version of the Collector in Marvel. So now, basically, Asha is on a mission to try to stop him, and she goes to certain universes that will have some iconic characters returning, starting off with the main man himself, Mickey Mouse. Mickey will obviously be our ringleader and stuff. He will be wearing his sorcerer apprentice outfit, because I've always thought that was like one of his most iconic outfits. So I would 100% have him wear that throughout the entire film and have a little bit of his magical touch. The second character would be Hercules. Again, an iconic character. I love Hercules. I love the movie. Then next up we have Mulan. Again, we have another Disney princess, followed by Elsa. I am not a huge fan of the Frozen movies, but I know people love them, and Elsa's kind of a fun character, I guess. You could do something with her. We have Tarzan. Gotta rep my boy Tarzan. Stitch. Gotta rep up some monsters, because we know that Stitch is by far one of the best characters in Disney, in my opinion. Moana. I still have not seen the first movie, but I've heard good things about it, and I would absolutely love to see Moana in this like crossover thing. Aladdin's one of my favorites. Louis from Meet the Robinsons. Now, Meet the Robinsons is one of my all-time favorite films. I just love that film so much. So I felt like it would be disrespectful for just myself as a Disney fan to not include like at least one Meet the Robinsons representative, and Louis was the first one that came to my mind. And then we also have Nick Wilde. You got to have a little a trickery thief, so to speak, on your team to try to break out everyone. And we have Wreck-It Ralph. Got to add some more muscle. These 12 characters will all be combined, will all come together to try to stop Magnifico. Remember how I said earlier how there would be 10 songs. One of the songs will be This Wish, which will be Asha's solo song. But 5 of these songs will also be for Tarzan, Aladdin, Mulan, Hercules, and Minnie Mouse, just so we can kind of understand where their characters have been since their respective movies. Because we know that like films like Wreck-It Ralph, Zootopia, those stories have continued and those stories will continue. So like with Wreck-It Ralph, we had Ralph Breaks the Internet. I don't think they're going to make a third movie, but if they do, then cool. Nick Wilde, they're going to make Zootopia 2 is going to be coming out soon. This film really does not need to be canonized into any of the other films, so it can literally just be just a real celebration, and the other respective films like Zootopia 2, Moana 2, those do not need to have any references to this movie in the slightest. And basically the reason for these solos is just so we can understand, we can learn what these characters have been up to since their respective films, so we can find out that like Hercules and Meg got married and they have a son. We can learn that Mulan is like a leader of an army. We can learn Aladdin is like the new sultan of Agrabah. Tarzan is having his own life with Jane and his own child, and Mickey Mouse is still being his incredible self with Minnie, Goofy, Donald, Daisy, and all that stuff. So together these 12 will come together, and in a sort of Avengers Endgame style way, we would try to get as many of the characters together in one final in one final song battle, so to speak, as they all face off against Magnifico, as he has his own army of they're like dark selves, so to speak, and the two armies converge, and in the end it would end with our heroes defeating Magnifico and all of them going back to their respective universes, but not before them having one giant ass cast photo, which is something that I really did enjoy, and them also singing "When You Wish Upon a Star, Your Dreams Come True." That is Disney's most iconic song. That's one of the I think that is the Disney song. So I would 100% have them all come back together and all sing it, kind of in the same way that they did it in the short, which I think would be a very good way to have more people, more of the characters, be able to have their voices. And overall, it would just be a proper way to just truly celebrate over 100 years of Disney with such of these iconic characters, and maybe possibly tease future characters for future movies and stuff that are on their way. But there you go. That is my pitch for the 100-year anniversary film, Once Upon a Disney. This is by far one of the I believe this is by far one of the shortest pitches I've ever made. But I really just wanted. I didn't want to go into too deep into it because I didn't want to think, oh, how could this work? How does this work? How does that work? I think the best way is to just let your imagination run wild, because that's what Disney is. When you think of Disney, you really just use your imagination. You have fun with it. You use your imagination. You enjoy it as much as you can. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are new to the channel, once again, make sure you subscribe. I have a lot of new pitches in the works that are going to be coming out within the next few months. Next month's pitch is going to be very good. I'm very excited for y'all to see what I'm going to do with next month's pitch. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Josh from Ray's Reviews, and I'll see you all in the next monthly pitch video. Bye-bye.